So we will start. We'll start lying down. So starting with your feet on the floor, about mat distance apart, knees bent. Start with one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Closing your eyes. Just take a moment. Feeling your back body soft against the floor, heavy. Feeling the knees rest in towards each other. Noticing if you feel any tension in your hips or your legs that are trying to hold the legs up. And just allow them to relax in towards each other so that you can soften anything that's holding it up. Feel the shoulder blades rest against the floor. Then start to shift your awareness to your breath. Feeling first the rise and the fall of breath beneath the belly. So as you inhale, feeling the belly expand up towards the hand. As you exhale, feel the belly release from your hand and the spreading of the skin across the hip points. Start to feel the slightest bit of awareness of expansion of the lungs beneath the hand on the heart. Feeling the rhythm of your heart. So we move into this practice of forward folding. The action of folding. It's a way of turning inward, moving towards the self. So feeling your own heart, your breath. Make that first connection to self in the practice. Slowly release the hands down beside your body. Seeing if you can still feel that awareness of your heartbeat deep within. The expansion on your inhalations. Softening on your exhalations. And slowly walk your heels in so they're in line with your sit bones, allowing your knees to separate. Bend your right knee in towards your chest. Starting first by drawing the knee in towards the breastbone. Noticing any resistance you feel in the front of the hip, the back of the hip, the side of the hip. And then allow the knee to turn out towards your shoulder. So finding a little bit external rotation, deepening into your hip crease a little bit more. And grab your ankle with your left hand. And then reach your right hand inside your right knee and grab the outer edge of your right foot, flexing your ankle. Start to take the sole of the foot up towards the sky as you allow the knee to turn out towards the right more. And straighten your left leg. So straightening left leg long to the ground. Start to pull your left toes towards your shin as you push the heel towards the front edge of your mat. Spreading the back of your thigh and pressing your inner knee and your left thigh towards the floor. Feeling the spreading on the back of the left leg, the firming of the front of the left thigh, the deepening of the right hip crease. And keep your right foot where it is. Release the right foot and take both hands over your shoulders, palms facing in. Inhale. As you exhale, curl your head towards your chest and then lift your shoulders, lift your ribs, lift your left foot off the ground and reach your fingertips towards your left foot. Keep pushing right knee towards the floor, so trying to stay in that deep hip flexion and slight external rotation. Relax jaw, relax the neck, the throat, and breathe. On your next exhalation, scoop the lower belly and lift a little bit higher. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, release shoulders to the ground, left leg to the ground. Hug right knee back in towards the chest. Then wrap your fingers, interlacing your fingers behind your right thigh. Start to press the right thigh into the hands to straighten your right leg above your right hip. Reach the sit bone towards the front edge of your mat. So deepening your hip crease, leveling off the front of your pelvis. Really find the back of your thigh and press it firmly into your fingers. Flex both ankles strongly, reaching toes towards your shins as you reach heels in the opposite direction. Deepen your right knee, bend your right knee, pull knee in towards chest. Point and flex your right ankle. And then rotate in circles in one direction. And then the opposite. Bring both feet to the floor, heels in line with your sit bones. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Notice what you feel as you start to pull the knee towards the breastbone, so towards the midline of the body first. As you exhale, slowly allow the knee to roll out towards your left shoulder. See if you can take your hip crease a little bit deeper. Grab your left ankle with your right hand, pulling the heel towards your right shoulder. Reach across with your left hand and grab the outer edge of your left foot. Take the sole of the left foot up towards the sky, knee towards the ground, and then straighten your right leg to the ground. So half happy baby in your left leg. Shift your awareness to your right leg. Start to pull toes towards your shin as you reach the heel of this foot towards the front of the mat. Imagine the back of your thighs spreading as you push it towards the floor, inner knee reaching towards the floor. Keep the left foot where it is. Release the left foot. Bring hands, wrist over your shoulders, palms facing in. Inhale. As you exhale, curl up, lift head, chest, shoulders, and then lift right leg. Reach fingers towards right foot. Gazing down towards your right foot. Keep the front of your right thigh firm. Left foot squared up towards the sky. Keep rotating the out. Relax the jaw. Relax the throat. On your next exhalation, scoop your lower belly and lift up a little higher. Inhale. As you exhale, release, hug left knee in towards the chest, release right foot back to the ground. Interlace your fingers the opposite way behind your left thigh. As you inhale, stretch your left heel up towards the sky as you press the back of your thigh into your hands. Draw left hip crease down, reaching the sit bone towards the front edge of your mat, leveling off the hip points. Firm the front of both thighs, reaching the toes towards your shin and reaching the heels in the opposite direction. Spreading the back of your left thigh into your hands. Exhale, bend left knee in towards the chest. Hug the knee in towards the chest. Point and flex your left ankle. Rotate in one direction. And the opposite. Hug both knees in towards your chest. As you exhale, curl up. Bring your head towards your knees. Grab behind your knees and start to rock forward and back a couple of times. And then rock all the way up and come into hands and knees. Shoulders above your wrist, knees below your hips. Spread your fingers wide, finding the palms of your hands taut and all 10 knuckles pressing firmly into the floor. Keep your toes pointing back. Gaze forward. Start to reach your sit bones towards your heels, keeping your head lifted. So as if you were going into child's pose, but don't drop the head. Shift forward, back to tabletop. As you exhale, spread your sit bones as you push your hips back towards your heels. Same thing, keep gazing forward, keep your chest open. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. This time, allow the head to come towards the floor, walking the hands forward. So coming up onto fingertips and really crawling the fingers forward. And then release the palms back down to the floor. Keep reaching your sit bones towards your toes. So feeling opening on the side body. A couple of breaths here. Trying to fill the back and the side ribs with your breath. Inhale, shift forward back to tabletop. Keep your hands forward of your shoulders, tuck your toes under. Send the hips back, lifting the knees off the floor, as if you were going into child's pose, but the knees are off the floor. Lift and spread your sit bones as you start to straighten your knees. Come way up onto your toes. Firm the front of your thighs, sending your inner groins back to spread your inner hamstrings. Then reach your outer hips back, feeling the outer hamstring stretch. Stay up on your toes. Lift and spread your sit bones a little bit more. Exhale, bend your right knee. Reach your inner left heel to the ground. Push through the inner heel, drag it back, lift and spread your sit bones. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your left knee as you push your right inner heel to the ground. Once the inner heel lands, if it lands, push your inner edge of your foot back to feel your inner hamstring. Keep lifting and spreading your sit bones. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, shift forward plank. Inhale here. Lower your knees to the floor, toes point back. Reach elbows towards your hips, chest lifts slightly as you lower your hips. Belly, chest to the floor. Stack your forearms and rest your forehead on your forearms. Press all 10 fronts of your toes into the floor, especially the pinky edge of your foot. The pinky toe won't press down, but imagine that it could. Lift your right leg from your inner right thigh. Lower it down. Press right foot down, lift your inner left thigh to lift your left leg. Lower down. Release forehead to the floor, heels of the hands in line with the bottom of the rib cage. Roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift up cobra. Tuck your toes under and press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up onto your toes. Bend the knees deep, hovering the knees above the floor as if you were going into child's pose. Keep reaching the sit bones towards your heels and then lift them up as you straighten your legs. Firm the front of your thighs. Press your inner thighs back. Feeling your inner hamstrings lengthen. Reach your outer hips back. Bend your right knee. Reach your inner heel to the ground. If it lands, drag your inner edge of your foot back. Keep dragging through the inner edge. Pull the outer edge of your hip back. So feeling the spreading on the outer hamstring. Inhale, lift up onto your toes. Bend your left knee, reach your inner edge of your right foot down. If the heel lands, pull the inner edge of your foot back. Feel the inner hamstring lengthen, spread. Press through the outer edge of your foot back. Press it back as you feel the outer hip pull back, outer hamstring spread. Inhale, lift up onto both toes. Exhale, shift forward plank. Pause for an inhale. Drop knees to the floor, toes point back. Elbows reach back as chest lifts, lower hips, belly, chest. Stack the opposite wrist on top. Rest the forehead on the floor. Press the front of the feet into the floor, spreading all the toes to touch down. Find the inner edge of your right thigh, lift your right leg. Find the outer edge of your hip, lift your leg a little higher, pressing through the left leg into the ground. Release right leg down. Spread the toes again, pressing all 5 toes down. Find the inner left thigh, lift left leg. Find the outer hip, Lift a little higher. Exhale, release left leg down. Bring forehead to the floor, heels the hands in line with the bottom of the rib cage. Roll shoulders down the back. Tuck the toes under. Firm the front of the thighs. Inhale, press up, plank. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, lift up onto both toes. Firm the front of the thighs, pressing the leg bones down, back. Feel the flesh of your hamstring spread. Keep the spread as you lower both heels to the ground. If the heels touch, press through the inner edges of your feet, outer edges of your feet, maybe lifting your toes off the ground. Inhale, lift up onto your toes, gaze between your thumbs. Bend your knees, bringing your shins parallel to the floor. Take your hips back as if you're going into a squat towards the back of the mat, so like child's pose. As you exhale, bring your right thigh forward to your shoulder and step your right foot outside of your hand. Bend the left knee to the ground. Point the toes back. Bring the hands inside the right foot. Walk your right toes as far forward as you can. Keep your left hand on the ground. Bring your right hand to your right knee. Use your right hand to push your right knee forward. Press firmly through the front to the back foot. Notice if your right hip is moving out to the side, and reach your sit bone, your right sit bone, as if you could touch your inner left thigh with your right sit bone. Keep pushing the right knee forward. So as you do that, perhaps you feel the depth in your right groin. Keep that. Reach right arm up towards the sky, gaze up towards your right thumb. Exhale, release both hands to the floor inside of your right foot. Tuck your left toe under, lift the back knee, and step back into downward facing dog. Lift high up onto toes. Press the inner groins back, so inner thighs back. Reach the outer hips back. Lower heels to the ground. Press through the inner edge of your feet. Reach back. Outer edge of your feet. Reach back. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Exhale, either knees to the floor or reach elbows back as you lower all the way down to the floor. Firm the front of the feet to the floor. Press toes down. Elbows reach back. Chest lifts. Head lifts. Cobra. Tuck the toes under, lift back, down dog. Finding that depth in the front of the hip crease. Finding the spreading of the backs of the thighs. Lift up onto your toes. Bend your knees, bringing your knees close to the floor. So we're going to call this down dog squat. Keep your right foot on the floor as you shift forward to plank. Bring your left knee with you to your left shoulder. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Drop your right knee to the ground. Point the right toes back. Right hand stays on the floor. Bring your left hand to your left knee. Walk your toes further forward. Foot stays firmly on the ground. Chest is squared forward. Start to push the left knee forward. Bring your awareness to the front of your right foot. Press down through the front of your right foot to deepen the left hip crease more. And reach your left sit bone towards your inner right thigh. So instead of opening, taking the hip back, shift the chest straight forward and gaze forward. So we're working more on creating hip depth, the depth in the front of the hip crease, which is part of forward folding. Stay here. Reach left hand up towards the sky. Twist, gazing up towards your left thumb. Release left hand inside of left foot. Tuck your right toe under, lift the right leg off the ground. Shift back, downward facing dog. Lift up onto your toes, inner thighs reach back. Outer thighs reach back. Release heels towards ground. Press through inner, outer edge, the feet pull back, lift toes. Inhale, shift forward plank. Exhale, elbows reach back, chest reaches forward, lower down, chaturanga. Press feet into the floor, roll shoulders down the back, lift head, lift chest, lift belly, cobra. Tuck the toes under and press back, downward facing dog. Walk the hands closer together so that the thumbs touch. Press the hands forward as you reach the hips back. Walk the hips or the feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Come up onto the toes. Bend the knees towards the floor, keeping the hips high. So you're staying in a down dog, but you're going towards a child's pose. Gaze up towards your thumbs. And we're gonna jump to Malasana like a frog. Hands to your heart. Press knees into elbows, elbows into knees. Stretch the spine long. Hands to the floor. Toes turn in as heels come out. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to the shins beneath the knees. Press hands and shins together as you reach the hips back. So really finding that deep hip hinge. Nice long spine, reach the heart towards the chin. Keep the depth of the hip creases. Firm the front of the thighs and fold into a forward fold. Allow the hands to come down the backs of the calves. Reach the crown of your head towards the floor. Keep pushing the fronts of the thighs back. Reach to the inner thighs. Pull the outer hips back. Fingertips to the hip creases, pull the hip creases back as you reach the head and chest forward to find your spine parallel to the floor. Inhale, stand all the way up. Start at the front of your mat. Big toes touch, or feet up to hip distance apart. Outer edges of your feet parallel. Hands beside your hips, lift your heart. Shoulders reach down your back. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head, gaze up towards your thumbs. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands and shins press together as hips reach back, sit bone spread. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Drop your right knee to the ground, toes point back. Inhale, reach your arms over your head, Anjaneyasana. Press the front of the foot in, back foot into the floor. Sink deeper into your front hip crease. So allow it to deepen. Knee reaching straight over your second and third toe. Exhale, hinge. Bring the hands on either side of your right foot. Tuck your right toe under, lift your back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Firm the thighs, lift and spread sit bones. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, scoot forward and up to up dog or cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, reach right leg up and back, three-legged dog. From the front of your left thigh, find the hip hinge. Exhale, bend knee to nose. Pause. Gaze between your thumbs. Slowly start to step Right foot up between your hands. Drop your left knee to the ground. Toes point back. Press the front of the left foot into the floor. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Sink deeper into your front hip crease, pushing your inner right knee forward to find the depth in the front of the hip. Exhale, hands come on either side of your right foot. Tuck your left toe under. Step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, hands and shins press together. Spine parallel to the floor, hips spread. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release hands beside the hips, Tadasana. Feet either together or hip distance apart. Hinge, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. So find the depth of the hip creases, push the hips back as you reach the knee forward, Utkatasana. Exhale, hinge forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Lower the left knee to the ground. Toes point back. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head, so coming back into Anjaneyasana. The more you press to the front of the left foot, reach the inner knee forward to sink deeper into the front hip crease. Exhale, shift back. Hands come to the floor. Start to straighten your right leg, turning the toes up towards the sky. Push your right heel into the ground and isometrically pull it back. As you pull the heel back, reach your chest towards your right toes. Inhale. And then as you exhale, fold a little deeper. Keep pushing heel down and dragging heel back. Keep the front of your right thigh firm. Back of the right thigh spread. Inhale, shift right foot forward, bringing the hands on either side of the right foot. Lift left leg. Step back, down dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, elbows reach back. Long body, lower down, chaturanga. Scoot forward and up to up dog or cobra. Exhale, lift hips. Up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach left leg up and back. Pause here, firm the front of your right thigh. Deepen your right hip crease. Exhale, bend left knee to nose. Pause. Gaze between your left thumbs. Moving your left foot forward slowly. Step left foot up between your hands. Drop right knee to the ground. Toes point back. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head, coming into Anjaneyasana. Press right foot down. Reach inner left knee forward, deepening your hip crease. Exhale, shift back. Hands come to the floor on either side of your left foot. Reach left heel forward, straightening your left leg. Start to pull toes towards your shin, firming the front of your thigh. Press left foot into the ground, heel into the ground, and isometrically pull the heel back, feeling the stretch in the hamstring. Firm the front of the left thigh to spread the hamstring more. Then reach heart towards toes as you fold deeper. Inhale, lift up slightly. Exhale, bend left knee. Hands come on either side of your left foot. Tuck your right toe under, lift the back knee. Exhale, step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Press them towards each other as you reach the hips back and stretch the heart forward. Exhale, hinge, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach up, sit back, Utkatasana. Pull hip creases back. Belly comes off your thigh. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands beside your hips. Tadasana. So moving a little bit more towards a salutation. Moving a little bit faster, same flow, just a little bit more movement. Big toes can touch, your feet up to hip distance apart. Inhale, lift arms up, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, hinge, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, push the fronts of the thighs back as head, chest reach forward. Exhale, hands to the floor, step to the back of the mat, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop the chest, forward and up dog or cobra. Exhale, press front of the thighs back to lift back into downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend knee to nose, pause. Gaze between your thumbs, trying to keep that hip hinge to step the right foot slowly up between the hands. Lower left knee to the ground, toes point back, press down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, sink deep into the front hip crease, so reaching inner right knee forward. As you exhale, shift the hips back, straighten the right leg, flex the ankle, reach the arms back. Inhale, shift back into Anjaneyasana. Deep hip crease. Exhale, straighten the right leg, firm the front of the thighs, reach heart towards toes. Inhale, one more time, shift forward, Anjaneyasana, gaze up. Exhale, shift back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Strong front of the thigh, heel presses down, drags back. Shift forward, both hands to the floor on either side of your right foot. Tuck left toe under, step back, plank. Exhale, back down dog. Breathe. So this first section, returning towards our awareness of the hamstrings, the lengthening of the hamstrings, and that relationship between the depth of the hip crease, so the hip hinge, and how we can create that more with legs straight, with the firming of the front of our front of our thighs. Shift weight to right foot, lift left leg up and back, three-legged dog. So feeling that hip hinge in the right leg. Exhale, bend knee to nose, pause, so hip hinge to the left. Gaze between the thumbs, and slowly, keeping the hip hinge as long as you can, step your left foot up between your hands, lower your knees to the ground. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Push your inner left knee forward to deepen. Exhale, keep the depth in the hip crease as you straighten the left leg, arms reach back, head, heart reach towards left foot. Inhale, shift forward, Anjaneyasana. Inner knee presses forward, hip deepens. Exhale, shift back. Press heel down, drag back, firm the front of the left leg. One more time, Anjaneyasana. Deep front hip crease. Exhale, hinge. Straighten the leg, toes point back. Bring the hands on either side of the left foot as you bend the knee. Tuck right toe under, lift the knee, step back, plank. Long body, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, scoot forward and up dog or cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog. Lower heels towards the ground. Lift the toes as you can. Pull the inner edge of your foot back. Feel inner hamstring stretch. Pull the outer edges of your feet back. Feel outer hips, hamstring stretch. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Walk your hands together. Walk your feet wide. Bend the knees as if you're going into a squat towards your hips. And then exhale, hop to Malasana, hands to the heart. Knees and elbows press towards each other. Deepen the front of the hip creases. Hands to the ground. Toes turn in as you straighten the legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to your shins, come up halfway. Press hands and shins together. Firm the thighs, spread the backs of your legs. Keep that awareness as you hinge. Grab your opposite elbow and hang. Release the hands. Fingertips to the hip creases. Pull hip creases back as you come parallel to the floor. Keep the fronts of the thighs strong as you lift all the way up. Bring your feet together. Shift your weight onto your right foot and bend your left knee towards your chest. Interlace your fingers in front of your left shin and pull your knee as close to your chest as you can. As you do, press down through your right foot. Start to fold chest towards knee. Lift chest off knee. Bring arms over your head. As you exhale, slightly bend your right knee and shift left leg back, coming into Virabhadrasana 3. Straighten right leg, bend right leg, bring left foot to the back of the mat, Anjaneyasana. Drop left heel down and in. Fold, bringing both hands inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot slightly forward so that your shoulder and your knee are together and your knee is directly above your ankle joint. Pull your outer right hip straight back. So if you feel it pop out, deepen your hip crease so that your sit bone is staying in line with your right heel. Stay there and walk your hands a little further so they come off the left edge of your mat. And then think down dog in your upper body and think warrior 2 in your lower body. So spread the fingers, press the hands down, allow the head to drop towards the floor. Notice if your right knee is dropping in. Deepen your right hip crease. Pull your right sit bone towards your left inner thigh and push your knee out towards the pinky edge of your foot. Press the outer edge of your left foot down and firm the front of the left thigh to spread the back of the left hamstring. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Start to straighten your right leg. Walk hands towards the long edge of your mat, turning your right toes in. Step your feet wider. Come up to your fingertips, shoulders above your wrist. Press the outer edges of your feet down and pull the outer hips back. Press the inner edges of your feet down. Push your inner thighs back and slowly fold forward for Prasarada Udattanasana. Walk your hands back so that your heels of your hands are in line with the heels of your feet. Reach the crown of the head towards the floor. Keep firming the front of the thighs. So pull your inner groins back. Pull your outer hips back. Walk your hands forward. Turn your toes towards the front edge of your mat. Drop your left knee to the ground. Toes point back. Shift up. And walk your right foot back. So right knee is directly above your right ankle. Reach left arms over your head. Pull right hip crease down. Twist to the right. Reach right hand behind you. Left finger stretch forward. Inhale, both arms over your head. Exhale, pull right hip crease down. Reach right arm back. Left arm reaches forward. Gaze back towards your right thumb. One more time. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, twist. One more time to the right. Gaze back towards your right hand. Left hand is pulling equally forward. Inhale, reach both arms over your head. Exhale, fold. Hands to the floor. Step to the back of your mat. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, scoot forward and up. Up dog. Exhale. Press back, down dog. Firming the front of your thighs. Stretching inner hip creases back. Pulling outer hips back. Inhale, gaze up between your thumbs, lift up onto your toes. Exhale, step or hop, front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach head, chest forward and up, come all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shift the weight onto your left foot. Draw right knee in towards your chest. Interlace the fingers and draw the knee as close to your right shoulder as you can. Press down through the front of your left foot. Staying balanced. Slightly fold, bringing your chest to rest on your right knee. Inhale, shift up. Slight bend of your left knee to reach right leg through and back to Virabhadrasana 3. Straighten both legs. Press right foot back. Bend the left knee, come into Anjaneyasana. Arms come over your head. As you exhale, fold forward, bringing both hands to the floor inside of the left foot. Rotate right heel down and in, heel to heel alignment. Left knee pushes straight forward. Walk your hands off the edge, right edge of your mat. Walk the hands apart like down dog and far forward. Notice if your left hip pops out to the side. Bring the sit bone in line with your left heel as you push left knee out. Hands press down to upper body strong. Lifting and spreading your sit bones as much as you can here. Walk the hands underneath your shoulders. Start to straighten your left leg as you turn your toes to face the long edge of your mat. Widen your stance, shoulders above your wrist. Start to press the inseams of your legs back, so deepening the front inner groin. Press the outer edges of your feet, pull the outer hips back, fold forward. Heels the hands in line with the bottom of the rib cage. Press down through the outer edges of your feet, pull back. Press down through the inner edges of your feet, pull back. Fronts of the thighs lift, backs of the thighs spread. Keep reaching crown of the head towards the floor. Hands to the floor, shift back, halfway up. Walk your hands to the front edge of your mat as you turn left toes to face the long front edge of your back. Drop your right toe, knee down to the ground, toes point back. Inhale, arms over the head. So both knees bent to 90 degrees. So ankle below your knee, hip, left hip crease pulls down. Exhale, twist to the left, reach left arm back, pull right arm forward. Gaze towards your left thumb. Inhale, both arms come over your head, shift forward. Exhale, twist. Reach left hand back, pull right arm forward. Inhale, both arms up. Last time, twist to the left. Gaze back towards the left hand, right hand reaches forward. Inhale, both arms over your head. Exhale, fold, hands on either side of your left foot, tuck right toe under, step back plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, shift forward and up, up dog. Exhale, press back, down dog. Find the inner thighs, pull them back. Find the outer hips. So awareness of the strength of the front of the thighs to create the space, the length, and the back of the thighs. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop, front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, reach hips back, head, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms come over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your right foot. Bend left knee forward. Hug knee to the chest. Grab left big toe with the first two fingers of your left hand. Draw knee up. Deepen the hip crease. Stay here or straighten. Right leg forward. Left leg forward. Right arm beside your ear. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Bend the left knee. Hands come to the heart, shift back. Virabhadrasana 3. Straighten both legs. From the outer right hip, press through inner left heel. Bend the right knee, arms come over your head, Anjaneyasana. Clasp your hands behind your back. Firm, or press your fist into the back of your left thigh and lift your left thigh into your fist. Deepen into your front hip crease. Drop your left heel down and in. Turn your shoulder, so your right shoulder is in line with your right knee. Press right knee towards the pinky edge of your foot, and then fold inside your left inner thigh. Allow the fist to come towards the floor. Hug right hip in. So heel, sit bones in line with your right heel. Deepen your right hip crease, reaching knee towards the pinky edge of your foot. Firm the outer left foot down. Firm the front of the left thigh. Press the front of the thigh back to spread the back of the hamstring. Keep hugging right heel in. Start to straighten the right leg. Turn the right toes to face the long edge of the mat. Coming into Prasardas, remaining in the bind. Press the outer edges of your feet down. Pull the outer hips back. Press the inner edges of your feet down. Pull the inner thighs back. Reach crown of the head towards the floor. Fist towards the sky. Inhale, come up halfway. Stay in your bind. Bend your right knee. Turn the right toes back towards the front edge of your mat. Firm the right thigh. Straighten the leg as you reach head towards shin. Urdhva pyramid pose. Firm the front of the thigh. Pull right hip crease back. Reach crown of the head towards the floor. Towards your foot. Bend your right knee. Release the bind, hands on either side of your right foot. Step back, plank pulse. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoot forward and up dog. Exhale, press back, down dog. Noticing what's going on in your body. As we dive into these forward folds, become highly acutely aware of the hamstrings, the hips, and the relationship that those parts of the body have on our spine. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Bend the knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Keep the front of the thighs firm, reach head, chest forward and up as you come all the way up. Palms touch, gaze up, hands to heart center. Shift the weight into your left foot. Bend right knee in, hug knee towards chest. Reach right, first two fingers to grab right big toe. Pull the knee out as you hug left hip in. Either stay here or straighten. Right leg out in front, left arm up beside your ear. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, just because it's fun to say. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Shoot right leg back and through. To come into Virabhadrasana 3. Firm the fronts of both thighs. Spread the backs of both thighs. Bend the left knee, right foot to the floor. Arms come over your head. Anjaneyasana. Clasp the hands behind your hips. Taking the opposite grip. Punch the fist towards the right thigh. Lift the right thigh into the fist. Actively engaging the hamstring by engaging the front of the thigh. Drop the heel down and in. Start to square. Shoulders slightly in. Push the knee towards the pinky edge of your foot as you fold inside your left thigh. Left shoulder resting inside of your left thigh. Hug left hip in. Bringing sit bone in line with left heel. Sink deeper into your front knee. Press the outer edge of your right foot down. Firm the front of your right thigh, spreading the back of your right thigh. Start to straighten your left leg, turning your toes to face the long edge of your mat. Come into Prasarada, down Prasarada Padottanasana. Spreading your feet as you feel comfortable. Press to the outer edges of your feet. Pull the outer hips back. Inner edges of your feet. Pull the inner groins back. Lift the fronts of your thighs. Spread the hamstrings. Reach the crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway, spine parallel to the floor. Start to bend the left knee as you turn the toes towards the front edge of your mat. Right toes turn in and then straighten both legs again. Coming into Urdhva. Firm the front of your left thigh. Spread the back of your left thigh. Feet down. Head reaches towards your foot. Bend the left knee, hands on either side of your left foot. Step back plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop front to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach head, chest forward and up, coming all the way up. Arms up, gaze up. Hands to heart center. Pause here. Close the eyes. Find the 4 points of your feet. So imagine spreading the wave between these 4 points of your feet. Find the outer edges of your feet and pull them back, feeling that from the outer legs all the way up to the outer hips. Keep the awareness there and then do the same on the inner edges of your feet. Feeling a pull, the inner groins back. Tailbone reaches towards the floor. Heart lifts towards the chin. Hands to heart center. Blink the eyes open. Shift the weight into your right foot. Bend your left knee forward. Clasp the outer edges of your feet with both hands. Pull the knee towards the chest. From the outer right hip. Straighten left leg as you fold towards your left toes. Bend the left knee. Shift back, Virabhadrasana 3. Firming the fronts of both thighs. Just spread the hamstrings. Bend your right knee, left foot comes down, Anjaneyasana. Left heel down and in. Hands behind the hips. Inhale, stretch, lift the chest high. Exhale, fold inside your right knee. This time, head coming towards your toes. So more of a humble warrior. Release hands on either side of your right foot. Shift to Prasarita Padottanasana, bringing toes to face the long edge of your mat. Head, chest, reach forward. Then shift hips to the right, coming into Skandasana. Lower your left hip to the ground. You should be hips towards the front of your mat. So right knee's bent. Bring your right foot inside your left thigh. We're coming into Janu Shirshasana. So right foot pressing inside of left thigh. Left toes point up towards the sky. Firm the front of your thigh, pressing your inner knee down. Bring your left hand behind your hip, right hand inside your right knee. Turn more towards your left foot. So finding that twist. Then reach both arms over your head. Stretch arms over your head. Keep firming the front of your left thigh, pressing the thigh down as you reach and stretch towards your left foot. Grabbing shin, ankle, or foot. Firm the front of your left thigh. Press the left thigh bone towards the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Reach your heart towards your toes. And then fold. Slowing down your breath. Reach your right sit bone back. Roll your inner left thigh towards the floor more. Flex your left ankle. Gaze towards your left foot. Stretch your arms long and lift up. Twist towards your right knee. Bring your right foot back to the ground. Hands come behind the hips. Lift the hips off the ground, coming back into Skandasana. And then twist back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop front to the mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, reach head, chest forward. Lengthen the front of your spine. Firm the front of your thighs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Shift your weight to your left foot. Bend right knee towards your chest. Start by grabbing the shin, taking the knee closer to your chest, and then reach down and grab the outer edges and inner edges of your feet with your both hands. Exhale, straighten. Right leg as you reach your head and chest towards your right toes. There might be a slight bend in your left knee, that's fine. Bend your knee. Shift right leg back as you reach head, chest forward, Virabhadrasana 3. Bend the left knee. Anjaneyasana, arms come over your head. Exhale, switch your grip. Hands behind your back. Press thigh into fist as you lift the chest. Exhale, fold straight forward, bringing shoulder to rest on the top of your left thigh, head falls towards your knee. Rotate right heel in, left toes come in, hands to the ground, Prasarada Padottanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, turn the left toes out slightly, right toes up towards the ground, or up towards the sky. So Skandasana, and then lower your right hip to the ground. Left foot comes inside your thigh. Right hand behind your right hip. Twist towards your right foot. Toes point up, firm the front of the thigh. Press as if you could push the back of your right thigh into the floor. Arms reach up beside your ears, stretch your spine long. Exhale, hinge. Reaching heart towards toes, grabbing shin, ankle, or foot. Press the front of your thigh towards the back of your thigh. Gaze towards your right toes. Reach your heart towards your right foot. And then fold. Reach your left sit bone towards the ground. Notice if the front of your right thigh is still strong. Pressing the leg bone towards the floor, reaching toes towards shin. Inhale, lift head towards foot. Heart reaches. Hands reach beyond your right foot. Come straight up. Hands come to the floor behind the hips. Bring left foot to the ground. Use your hands to lift your hips off the ground. And walk hands towards the front of your mat. Left foot turns to the front of your mat. Come back. Down dog. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze between your thumbs. Bend your knees and step or hop to a seated position between your hands. You can turn to face me. Hands to the ground. So Dandasana. Press the hands down. Lift the sit bones and scoop your hips back. So push down, push forward to kind of send your hip creases back more. Inner knees press down. Firm the front of your thighs as if the thigh bones could rest on the floor. Toes pull back. Inhale, reach arms over your head. As you exhale, twist, bringing right hand to the outside of your right foot or ankle. Left hand towards the opposite. So wherever you have your hands, if they're on your shins or your ankles or your foot, hold them back towards you, pressing fronts of the thighs back. Reach your chest towards your toes. And then bend your elbows out to the side to fold. Firming the front of your thighs, keep pressing the backs of the thighs towards the floor. Lift up halfway gaze towards your feet. Keep your right hand on the outer edge of your left shin or foot. Bring your left hand to the back of your head. Twist to the left. Grab right foot with left hand or shin. Right hand comes to the back of the head. Twist to the right. Release. Come up. Bend your knees. Lean back. Lift the toes or lift the feet. Shins parallel to the floor. Straighten your elbows as you hold behind your thighs. So lean back far enough that your elbows are straightened. Then release your knees. Stretching hands towards feet, lifting chest towards the sky. And straighten your legs as you want. Bend the knees. Heels in line with your sit bones. Lower the back to the floor. So walking the heels as close to your hips as you can. So we've done a lot of hamstring opening. We're gonna do a little hamstring engagement. Hands beside your hips, palms face down. Snuggle your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Lift your hips off the ground. Snuggle your shoulders closer to your spine. And then squeeze your glutes to lift your hips. Setu Bandha, Sarvagasana, bridge pose. Press down through the inner edges of your feet. Pull your inner heels towards your shoulders. Press down through the outer edges of your feet. Pull your outer edges of your feet towards your shoulders. Lift your hips higher. Clasp your hands beneath your hips. Press your fists down. Lift your hips higher. Keep dragging inner and outer edges of your feet back. Release the grip of your hands. Let your hips grow heavy. Lower the hips to the ground. Relax your shoulders. Breathe. Step your feet mat distance apart. Lift your hips and shift them slightly to the left. Drop both of your knees to the right. Arms out to the side, T to the body. Stack the outer edge of your right foot on the outside of the left knee. Allow the heaviness of the foot, gravity, to lower knee towards the floor. And turn your head to gaze towards your left hand. Release right foot off of left knee. Feet wide, shift hips to the right, drop knees to the left. Stack the outer edge of your left foot on the outer edge of your right knee. Turn your head and your heart to the right as gravity draws the left knees, or the knees to the left. Release right foot or left foot off of right knee. Draw the knees, the hips towards the center, and then draw knees towards the chest. Rock a little side to side. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let everything go. Stretching legs long to the ground. Allowing legs to rest open comfortably. Arms down beside the body, palms facing up. And close the eyes. And so as we come to the close of our practice, allowing the mind to turn inward. Connecting to the feel of your body. Connecting to the rhythm of your breath. Connecting to the mind. Noticing the thoughts as they come into the mind. Allowing a moment to acknowledge them. And then allowing them to pass. And start to deepen your breath. Feeling the expansion of the belly, the side ribs. As you inhale, reach your arms over your head, stretching your legs long. As you exhale, bend your knees and roll onto your side body. Using your hands and arms, slowly press yourself up to a seated position. Allowing your hands to meet at heart center, feeling that connection as your hands touch of self meeting self. Done the inward work, moving inward, gazing inside to find the self. Thanks so much for being here this evening. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was nice. That